The monument floated in the cold darkness between stars. It was older than most civilizations in the galaxy. Its surface carried warnings written in 17 dead languages. The Vorthan Empire found it during their expansion into the outer spiral arm. Admiral Keth stood on the bridge of his flagship and watched as his translators worked on the ancient text. "What does it say?" Keth asked. His 4 eyes narrowed with impatience. The lead translator, a nervous creature named Brill, cleared his throat. "It is a warning, Admiral. From the architects themselves." The bridge went silent. Every species in the galaxy knew about the architects. They had built the first stargates. They had seeded life across 1,000 worlds. They had disappeared 3 million years ago, leaving behind only monuments and mysteries. "Read it," Keth commanded. Brill's voice shook as he spoke the ancient words. "Beyond this point lies the cradle of the Terrans. Let them rest. Let them dream. Let them forget they were ever made for war. Do not wake them. Do not challenge them. Do not give them reason to remember what they are. We made many children across the stars. We loved them all, but the Terrans we made different. We made them to fight the things that lived in the dark between galaxies. We made them too well. Now the darkness is gone, and the Terrans sleep. Let them sleep forever. This is not a warning. This is a prayer." Admiral Keth laughed. The sound echoed across the bridge. His officers joined him, though some laughed less easily than others. "The architects feared these Terrans?" Keth said. "A species we have never even heard of. A species hiding in some forgotten corner of the galaxy?" "Admiral," Brill said carefully, "the architects were not known to exaggerate. Perhaps we should report this to the High Council before." "Before what?" Keth interrupted. "Before we claim the richest territory in the spiral arm? Before we add another 100 worlds to our empire? No, we continue forward. These Terrans, if they even still exist, will kneel like everyone else." The Vorthan fleet crossed the boundary marked by the ancient monument. They found a system with 8 planets orbiting a yellow star. The 3rd planet was covered in blue oceans and green continents. Millions of lights glittered on its night side. Ships moved between planets. Satellites filled the orbital space. Radio signals flooded every frequency. "They are more advanced than we expected," one officer noted. "But not as advanced as us," Keth replied. "Open a channel. Tell them the Vorthan Empire claims this system. They have 1 rotation of their planet to surrender." The message was sent. The response came quickly. A creature appeared on the view screen. It had 2 eyes, 1 mouth, and skin the color of sand. It wore a uniform of some kind. Its expression was calm but unreadable. "This is Admiral Chun Wei of the Terran Defense Force," the creature said. "We received your message." "I must ask you to repeat it. Our translation systems may have made an error." Keth smiled. "No error. The Vorthan Empire claims this system. You will surrender all military vessels. You will accept Vorthan governance. You will provide tribute in resources and labor. You have 1 planetary rotation to comply." Admiral Chun was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke again. "I see. Please hold your position. I need to make some calls." The transmission ended. Keth turned to his officers with a look of satisfaction. "You see? They already prepared to negotiate. This will be easier than I thought." Hours passed. The Terran ships did not move. They simply waited in their orbital positions. More radio signals filled the space around the planet, but the Vorthans could not decode them. Then new ships began to arrive. They came through points in space that folded like paper. They came from behind planets and moons where they had been hiding. They came from the asteroid belt and from stations around the gas giants. Within 6 hours, the Terran fleet had grown from a few hundred ships to several thousand. "Admiral," an officer said with fear in his voice, "they outnumber us." Keth stared at the tactical display. "Impossible. Our intelligence said this species had not yet achieved faster than light travel." Those ships came through fold points, another officer said. That technology has not existed since the architects. Before Keth could respond, Admiral Chun appeared on the view screen again. Her expression had not changed, but something in her eyes was different now. Admiral Keth, she said, I have consulted with my government. We have a counteroffer. Leave this system. Leave this sector. Return to your empire and tell your leaders what you found here. Tell them the Terrans wish to be left alone. We do not want war. We do not want conquest. We only want to live in peace. This is your only warning. Keth felt rage build in his chest. No species had ever spoken to the Vorthan Empire this way. You dare threaten us? We have conquered 100 worlds. We have crushed civilizations older than your entire species. Yes, Chun said simply. I know. We have been watching your empire for some time. We hoped you would not come here. We hoped the monuments would be enough. She paused. They were not enough for the Creth Dominion either, or the Stellar Ascendancy, or the machine minds of Proxima. They all came. They all made the same demands you are making now. I have never heard of these civilizations, Keth said. No, Chun replied. You would not have. The transmission ended again. Keth gave the order to attack. The battle lasted 4 hours. It should have lasted 4 minutes. The Terran ships moved in ways that broke the laws of physics as the Vorthans understood them. They appeared and disappeared. They fired weapons that could not exist. Their shields absorbed everything the Vorthan fleet threw at them. But the strangest thing was how the Terrans fought. They did not fight like warriors seeking glory. They did not fight like predators seeking prey. They fought like exterminators dealing with insects. There was no passion in their attacks, no rage, no joy, only a cold and terrible efficiency. Keth watched his fleet die around him. His flagship was the last ship remaining. Its engines were gone. Its weapons were silent. Half his crew was dead. A Terran boarding party cut through the hull. They moved through the corridors like ghosts. Keth saw them only briefly before something struck him and the world went dark. He woke in a room with white walls. Admiral Chun sat across from him. 2 Terran soldiers stood by the door. You are lucky, Chun said. We do not usually take prisoners. But my government believes you can serve a purpose. What purpose? Keth asked. You will return to your empire. You will tell your leaders what happened here. You will tell them about the monuments and the warnings. You will tell them that the Terrans wish to be left alone. Chun leaned forward. And you will tell them what happens to those who do not listen. Keth found himself trembling. Who are you? What are you? Chun considered the question. We are what the architects made us to be. Long ago, things came from the space between galaxies. Things that ate stars and consumed entire civilizations. The architects could not stop them, so they made us. They designed us for war. They built aggression into our blood and violence into our bones. They gave us minds that could adapt to any enemy and find weakness in any defense. They made us nightmares wrapped in flesh. She stood and walked to a window. Outside, stars burned against the black. We won, she continued. We destroyed the things from the dark. But when the war was over, we looked at what we had become. We were monsters. We had killed billions. We had burned worlds. We could not stop ourselves. The architects were afraid of us. They could not unmake us, so they did something else. They helped us forget. They rewrote our minds. They buried the war instincts deep where we could not find them. They gave us peace. Chun turned back to Keth. For 3 million years we have been at peace. We build. We create. We love. We raise families and grow old and die. We are happy. We do not want to remember what we were. Her voice grew cold. But when something threatens us, the old memories return. The instincts wake up. We become what the architects made us to be. The monuments, Keth whispered. The warnings. The architects put them there as a mercy, not for us. For everyone else. They knew that one day, Some young and foolish species would find us. They hoped the warnings would be enough. Chun smiled, but there was no warmth in it. The warnings are never enough. Keth was returned to his empire in a small shuttle. He told his leaders everything. He showed them recordings of the battle. He repeated Chun's words exactly as she had spoken them. The Vorthan High Council debated for 7 days. Some wanted revenge. Some wanted to build stronger weapons in return. But Admiral Keth spoke against them. He told them about the look in the Terran soldiers' eyes. He told them about the cold efficiency of their attacks. He told them about the civilizations that no longer existed because they had not listened to the ancient warnings. In the end, the council chose wisdom over pride. A new monument was built at the border of Vorthan space. It carried a message in 63 languages. The message was simple. Beyond this point lies Terran space. We do not go there. Neither should you. They wish to rest. Let them rest. This is not advice. This is survival. Years passed. Other species found the monument. Some laughed at the warning, just as Keth had laughed. They sent fleets into Terran space. They made demands and threats. None of them returned. More monuments appeared across the galaxy. More warnings. More prayers for the universe to leave the Terrans alone. The ancient voices multiplied, crying out across the dark distances between stars. But the words were always wasted, because in every generation, some fool believed they could succeed where others had failed. Some emperor dreamed of glory. Some admiral hungered for conquest. Some scientist wanted to study the legendary Terrans. They went. They challenged. They woke the sleeping nightmare. And the Terrans, with heavy hearts and ancient instincts, did what they had always done. They fought. They won. They tried to forget. In the quiet of their world, the humans planted gardens and raised children, and hoped that this time would be the last time. They did not want to be monsters. They did not want to destroy. They only wanted to rest. But the galaxy would not let them rest. And so the cycle continued, as it had for 3 million years, as it would for 3 million more. Ancient voices cried warnings into the void. The warnings were ignored. And humanity, forever burdened by what they had been made to be, answered every challenge with the terrible gift the architects had given them. The gift of absolute victory. The curse of never being able to forget why they had needed it.